Hey, what's up guys, it's Dom from Hole Printing Inc. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to change / replace your DTF printhead. In this video, we're going to be covering the DTF commercial printers. So most of the printheads are going to be pretty similar, whether it's a small format printer or it's a big format. However, in this video, we're going to go and dive deep into wide format DTF printhead changes, just so you can get an idea whether you're changing a small format printer or a big format printer. This video is going to help you cover the basics of what you need, how to do it, how to test if everything went well. Before we get started, let's cover what you guys will be needing. You're going to be needing some cleaning solution, Scott towels, a cloth. You might need a screwdriver depending on your screws, alcohol swabs, containers like this, as long as the printhead can fit, Ziploc bags, a lot of them, Allen key or screwdriver, ideally a magnetic, and the printheads you want to be changing. So for us, this is the printer in question. We're about to change the printheads that contain the color. Our white printheads are perfectly fine. However, we've had the colored printheads for around a year and we've printed a lot. So we've been experiencing a lot of banding recently. Hopefully by changing these printheads, it's going to fix the issue. The first thing I would suggest we do before we go any further is to clean this. There's a lot of DTF powder, dust, and residue. I want to clean this thoroughly before I remove any cables. And also, I want to make sure that we mark our cables so we make sure, but we'll get into that very soon. I do suggest you do this with some help. You can know exactly what you're doing. The person helping is just going to be there to help you hold things and stuff like that. If you both know what you're doing, this is even better. So without any further ado, let's clean this. We can use a few combinations. You can use dust blasher like this, compressed air to kind of shoot the air away, or you can go ahead with an alcohol swab and kind of clean up all these crevices, especially close to the wires. So let's do that right now. Alright, so I just used a bit of compressed air and everything looks pretty good now. So now the colored heads on our printer, and as you can see we have 4, it's a bit tricky because we kind of need to go in the back. What we're going to try to do, this is honestly my first time replacing the colored heads. I've replaced the white heads quite a few times, but the colored heads is the first time. So do bear with me as I show you guys the process in this video. What we're going to try to do first is just remove the dampers on the whites and then replace the colored printheads by marking also our wires. So let's try with that. The first step we're going to do is we're going to put all of these dampers into Ziplocs. First one done. Alright, so now both of the white head dampers are removed. We have a way better access now to start working on these printheads in the back. So the next step for us is going to be to do the same things but with the colored dampers. Here it's where it begins to get tricky in my opinion, just because it's so far away. But we'll do our best and see, because the least you play around with these printheads, in my humble opinion, the better. The more you let this printer be and the less you touch it, I feel like you have less problems. But that's just because we don't have technical support on this specific model. Your experience might be a bit different with your commercial printer. But I do believe that the less you play with this, the better. So let's put these in bags and let's report back once it's done. Alright, so we just marked the cables of the printheads we want to remove. We got 1, 2 as the cable, 3 as the cable, and then 4 as the cable. Underneath we could write 1.1, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to be removing one head at a time, keeping the cable closed, and then if needed we can mark the cables, but we'll most likely just replace them as we go. So now we can start removing the printhead. So I do apologize for the angle, guys. There's not many ways I can actually film this, but she's basically just unscrewing the screws. We've got a total of 3 screws to remove per printhead. 1 screw removed, keep it close, you'll need it soon. Second screw from the first printhead removed. Third screw. All the screws from this printhead are now removed. The next step, very carefully, is that we're going to be removing this printhead from the carriage. And then from there, what we're going to be doing is taking a close look at the wires. From there, we can also mark the wires more appropriately. Underneath this wire, which is currently number 1, I do apologize for the camera, guys, but this wire is currently marked as 1. Underneath this wire, we'll mark 1.1. So forth, same thing for number 2, 2.2. And then from there, we'll be reinstalling the new printhead right away. All cables have been removed. Take your old printhead, place it in some sort of container like this so nothing's touching. You can take the time to now mark your cables if necessary. So now it's time to replace with the brand new printhead. Now for this one, you want to make sure you install on the right side. So the sticker, in my experience, always goes towards you. And as you can see, there's no CMYK on this one. So it's going to be a bit trickier for us to know which color goes where, but we can just use the image that we had previously and also use where the wires are coming out from the actual printer itself. So again, sticker towards you. There's never a screw on the top right corner. So this is how you know how it should line up. What I suggest is before you drop it inside of the carriage is I would suggest you actually go ahead and plug the actual cables inside of the pins right away before you drop it inside the carriage. So that's what we're going to do first thing first. Make sure obviously you never touch the actual printhead. If ever you don't have a magnetic screwdriver, what you can do is use some sort of tweezers or pliers like this. Just simply drop it inside of the hole, something like this. And then you can screw it with the Allen key from there. All 3 screws are now inserted inside of the printhead. Now she's just taking her time and making sure that all of the screws are properly tightened. You don't want to overdo it, but you just want to make sure that there's no more flex in the printhead itself. So when you push it down, it's not kind of bouncing back up and down. You want a stable contact. So if you touch the printhead, there's no wobbling going on. That's exactly what you want. So now this one is completely done. Before we insert our dampers, we're going to actually go ahead and do the other one. And then from there, we'll basically just be repeating the same steps. All screws for the final printhead we're changing have been now removed. Again, I do apologize that we don't have a camera on our hands. Unfortunately, this is a really tricky spot to film, but the main principle still applies. Remove all the screws, 3 screws in total. After that, the printhead is going to be kind of wobbling like this, as you might see. This is exactly what I was talking about previously. Now we're able to remove this printhead, again marking our cable so we know exactly where they go facing what side. And then from there, once this printhead is removed, we're going to be installing the new one. Alright, so this is the new printhead. My girlfriend's also just taking the time to clean inside of the carriage here. So the other one was completely fine, but this is a good example. If ever you see like kind of ink debris on the sides, you can make sure to clean it because you're basically installing a new printhead. So anything that looks a bit like this can most definitely be cleaned for better results. So now we're going to be removing the cables. Everything is clean in the carriage. I'm going to take out a Ziploc just in case so it doesn't touch and contaminate with ink. Inside of the Ziploc, now we're going to do this one. We're also examining the pins at the same time, making sure there's no contamination on them and all the pins look good. A bit of dust is okay. Sometimes it's better not to put alcohol on them. We're just making sure that everything looks okay. Now we'll put it inside of the Ziploc. I'll take this printhead. This one we're going to put it in the container. I'm going to give the Ziploc to my girlfriend. She's going to put it inside here. Putting this here for now. Now let's take the brand new printhead and we're doing the same thing again. We've successfully installed the new printheads. Now the next step is we're going to be cleaning all of these white printheads, also cleaning all of the dampers. Pretty straightforward, but I'll still show you one or two examples, and then we'll be installing all the dampers and doing a test print, and hopefully everything goes well. After that, we're going to do calibration, but this is going to be a separate video. Alright, so now the printheads are clean. We've got the brand new ones in the back and the old ones in the front. Not the old ones that we changed, but just the ones we previously had, the white ones. Now the next step, and one of the final steps, is going to be to actually go ahead and clean all of the dampers before you reinstall them. It's very straightforward. If ever you're not too sure what goes where, you can use this as a reference. The one to your left in most cases is going to be black, and then it's going to be blue or cyan, magenta, and then yellow. This is our setup currently, and then for the white you can also just follow the wires, how they kind of look, and everything should be a-okay. So how we clean a damper is pretty straightforward. You simply take it out of the Ziploc bag, you insert the alcohol swab inside, and you kind of go around the circle, going a bit inside of the damper, making sure to remove any dried up ink. I won't film every single one of them, but you get the idea. Basically, you just want to clean the damper outside and, most importantly, inside of the damper. So you kind of put your alcohol swab in a circular motion, and you just kind of want to insert it inside like so. And you can also do something like this and really go inside of the damper to remove any debris. This is also useful if ever you have a lot of dried up ink around the corners. You can remove it with this weeding tool. Be very careful to not puncture the rubber though when doing this. Alright guys, so we successfully installed the colored dampers. We're going to now move on to the other colored dampers. Repeating the same system, simply cleaning outside and inside the dampers before installing. Alright, so now all of the colored dampers are inside the new printheads. We also inserted a quick zip tie just to keep everything together. It was kind of slanting this way. It's still slanting a bit, but way less. So this should be good. Now we're going to move on to the white, clean all the dampers, and basically turn on the printer. Most of them are all done. We only have one left. Everything is clean. We're moving on to the last and final printhead that we're going to be cleaning the dampers off. All the dampers are now installed. Now the moment of truth we've all been waiting for. You now turn on your printer and you hope that you installed everything properly and you get back to printing. That's the main goal. In some cases you'll most likely have a printhead calibration to do. I'll have a video coming on this very soon on how to calibrate your printer from A to Z. So PrintXP successfully connecting. There's no error codes. On our main board, we have the number 0, which is a perfect sign. The print heads have been successfully replaced. Now we're gonna do a head cleaning and we're gonna do a nozzle check, and then we're gonna go grab lunch, and then a new video on how to calibrate your print heads coming very soon. All Alright, we got no lines whatsoever on our colored heads, but this can be normal. We'll just move up the paper. You come over here in settings and print XP. Let's load all four heads for around 17 seconds. So this is going to force ink through the print heads directly inside of the waste ink pump. So let's do this for some time. Perfect, we got some colored ink coming through, that's a good sign. It's been around 20 seconds, let's stop the loading of the ink. After this, let's simply move our cart to the left. As you can see, the colored ink is looking amazing. Everything looks good. I'm just gonna take a quick alcohol swab here. And I'm just gonna quickly clean my squeegee. I like to do this between every single head cleaning to keep the heads clean. So this is good. Let's do a cleaning now. There we go, a successful nozzle check, guys. Everything looks amazing. We're missing no lines in our nozzle check. The colors look absolutely vibrant. Actually, I just lied. We are missing a few lines in our nozzle check, but it's probably simply due to the fact that we need to prime the lines a bit more. So I'm going to do another head cleaning. This nozzle checks to be flawless, but the good sign with all of this is that the colors look consistent. We were having a lot of banding inside of these colors, especially the blue, the yellow. So hopefully with these new print heads, the banding will be a problem of the past. This was how to change your DTF commercial print heads. If you found this video somewhat helpful, make sure to leave a like, comment down below. And before I leave you guys, I also wanted to let you know that if ever you change your colored print heads, do make sure you clean them with cleaning solution in the nozzles, and you clean underneath on the side of their actual print heads, just in case you ever need to have spares. In most cases, your colored print heads are still going to be good, so these can be useful for emergency situations.